Good morning, students. Today we shall study this experiment, GM counter. In this experiment, we want to count how many particles, radioactive particles, are emitted by some radioactive source. GM counter's job is basically to count the number of particles. For that, we need this counter system and the GM tube. GM stands for Geiger-Müller. Geiger and Müller. Geiger-Müller also you can call them Geiger-Müller, Geiger-Müller. Different ways to pronounce their name. Geiger-Müller is what we call in India usually. This is the Geiger-Müller tube. It has a gas inside, usually inert. Okay, and in that tube we will allow some radioactive particles to go inside. Okay, those radioactive particles will ionize the gas. So when they get the particles of the atoms, when they get ionized, the electrons will be separated out from the atom and get collected at the anode. Okay, which will give rise to a current. That current will be taken by these wires, and this counter will detect that current, and it is already calibrated in terms of how much current is produced by how many particles. So it will directly count how many particles are being emitted by that radioactive source, and it will show the number here. What we want to do is, okay, let us start first. To begin with, you need a GM tube, a radioactive source, and a counter. Our radioactive source is cesium-137. Okay, so you're not supposed to handle this with hand, but it is very dilute. It's not that strong, the radiations emitted by this source. So it is kept in a lead box here. This is the symbol used for radioactive source. Take it out. Keep this plastic box aside. Do not touch this radioactive source. Okay, it looks like I'm touching, but I am not. See? Do not touch it. Keep this aside. Then, for the current to go inside the counter, these two leads are there. Put the black one in the black one, the red one in the red plug. Done. Then take the switch, pin, put it in the plug here, and put the machine on. Okay, now the machine starts. You want to set the time here. This is the time for which the counter is counting how many particles are being emitted. So you can set it here. Okay, but we have set it at 30 seconds. So the counter is going to count how many particles are being emitted in 30 seconds, right? The machine starts when you press start here. You see the counter is counting even without putting any radioactive source. That is the background count. Background count, meaning radioactive particles are there in the background also. Okay, everywhere. You want to find out how many particles are emitted by the source only. So you will have to count the background count and the count by the source and subtract the background count from the source count. That will give you the actual particles emitted from the source. So this has counted 43 particles in 30 seconds. So you have to reset it. Long press, it gets reset. Right? Start, stop. Now what will happen? Inside this GM tube, you need to produce some electric field for the gas to get ionized. If there is no electric field, it will be very difficult for the particles themselves to ionize the gas. Okay, so to produce that electric field, you need some potential difference across the anode and cathode of the tube. So that you adjust here. Press this. When you press it, you can see what is the voltage applied. So this voltage should initially be 0. It won't be 0. Minimum voltage you will get here is the voltage of your AC mains. Okay, So this for us is 0 only, because no particles will be emitted, meaning no particles will be detected. Okay, so what we have to do is keep this GM tube voltage at 300 volts. What am I doing? I'm pressing this. If I press this, it will display how many volts I have applied. Then you change the to 300 volts. Move the knob to get 300 volts applied to the GM tube. Done. Let us say that is 300. Now open this, take the source. This distance is pre-decided, you can keep this anywhere. What we are interested in is what is the operating voltage and the threshold voltage of the counter. We don't want to see how the counter counts when this source is closer to GM tube and away from GM tube. We only want to study one characteristic of the GM tube, and that basically tells you how the counter is working, this whole system, how it is working. Okay, so power is gone, but you know what, we have inverter. Yeah, tada. Now what you do, take the source and keep it here. Fine, then you close the box. Close the box. Observation table is there on your journal. You can refer the observation table as you're seeing this video. Now you want to press start. The countdown has started here. For 30 seconds the counter is going to see how many particles are being emitted. But remember that the potential difference that I've applied to the GM tube is only 300 volts, and that much electric field is not enough to ionize the gas. These particles will ionize the gas, but they need some help from the electric field. Some external force is required. Okay, one person is pulling from here, one person is pulling from here. Just enough that if some other person comes and cuts something in the middle, these two can get separated. You know what I'm saying? So this anode is trying to pull the electrons out of the atom because of the electric field. This is the cathode, which will attract the positively charged ions then. Okay, but the electric field is only just enough that if some external agency comes and helps in the breaking of the atom, helps in ionizing the atom, only then the electron will go to the anode, then the positive ion will go to the cathode. Okay, so see, it counted for 30 seconds, but no particles were emitted, meaning no particles were detected. Particles are continuously being emitted. Cesium-137 emits usually, it decays to barium, then so that it will have to emit beta particles. Okay, it emits either high energy beta particles or low energy gamma rays. High energy beta particles or low energy gamma rays. Irrespective of what particles are being emitted, we are only interested in counting how many particles are being emitted. Okay, because we want to study not cesium-137, we want to study this counter, how it is working. Now what I'll do, I'll increase the potential difference given to the GM tube to, let's say, 350. So you can increase the voltage in steps of 50 volts, or you can increase it in steps of 100 volts. Okay, so since I am doing this video, what I'll do is I'll directly go to 400. Yeah, this is 400. Okay, and now I will start the counter. Start. See, it is counting. 25. Yeah, so many particles are being detected by the counter. Not that these many particles are emitted. Please keep in mind, these are the particles that are being detected by the counter. Very nice, beautiful, uttam, sundar. 114 particles were detected by this counter in 30 seconds when a potential difference of 400 volts was applied between the anode and cathode of the GM tube. Now what I'll do, I need to get the background count now, because these are the particles detected by the counter. Some of these particles could be particles in the background radiation which is there. Okay, so we are living in a radioactive world, by the way. A lot of atomic bombs have been tested. Chernobyl disaster, Fukushima disaster, all these disasters have led to a lot of radioactive particles being present in the air. Okay, that will also be detected by the counter. Now what I'll do, to count how many background particles it is detecting, I'll remove the source and now बंद करपाचें and reset and start. See. So out of the total 114 particles that were detected, ten are from the background. So you take 114 minus 10, that is equal to 104 particles were from this source. Understood? So the GM counter was able to detect 104 particles in 30 seconds when the potential difference given between its anode and cathode was 400 volts. Now go to the next potential difference, right? So more help you are giving to the radioactive source. Help to do what? Help to ionize the gas. For the particles to themselves ionize the gas, the particles have to be extremely energetic. We can't work with those kind of particles, at least now, right? So, and the setup is also not so simple. Setup will have to be very much more sophisticated. Close this. Yeah. Okay, fine. Reset and start. Counter is going to count for 30 seconds. This is for what potential difference? 500. You will see that the number of particles detected now will be higher than those detected, or almost same, not higher, same as those detected previously. Sorry about that, higher. It's the same, nearly same. See, 109. So the counter is operating properly. For what voltages? For voltage 400, for voltage 500. Now similarly you will take the counts for, again what you will do before that, you remove the source and take background count. Reset and start and take background count. So it will take background count, whatever. Now like that you will go on taking the readings for different voltages. So I took first for 300, then 400, then 500, then you go for 600, 700, 800, 900 and all. And for each voltage you see how much particles are being detected. Fine. So when you take down the readings, I don't know if the observation table is there in this, but it's there on your journal that I have given. It will be the observation table, it's not here. Observation table will have, okay, wait. Pen. Where is it? Observation table will have, I'm not sure, I don't remember from the journal, but it will have voltage applied, then background count, then total count, and count by the detector, call this as total count. Then the counts will be n is equal to np minus nb. See what prefixes are used, what suffixes are used. Subscript here, what is used, you just see that, and then that will give you your total count here. Then you want to plot a graph. Okay, anyway, then next part. As you go on increasing the voltage here, you'll notice that after a certain voltage, let us say very high voltage, let us say now you reached 1000 volts here. Let us say now you reached 1000 volts here. 1000 volts. We must try to not go beyond 1000, beyond 1000 or 1050. Okay, let us say it has reached, yeah, this is the limit, 950, let's say, 950. Now what I'll do, I'll put the count source again here, and close the lid and start. Whoa, whoa. Look at that. So many particles it is counting. For what voltage? 960. Oh, yeah. The machine is not getting enough voltage because I have kept it on inverter here. This point, let's see how much it will count now. Reset, start. No, voltage is low. The voltage is low. Yeah, I won't be able to show you because there is power fluctuation and the voltage is low. What happens is, at this kind of high voltage, like 970, 950 and all, the number of counts here is very, very high, in thousands, tens of thousands. Okay, is the number of counts that you see here. So that is not happening because the voltage that is coming out of the AC mains is less. Anyway, some of you must have seen it, that beyond a certain voltage here, the number of counts increases tremendously. That is because the gas is being ionized. Gas is being ionized because of the electric field only that I have applied. If you apply this much voltage between the anode and cathode of the GM tube, that voltage is enough to produce enough electric field to rip off the electrons from the atoms. So a lot of current will be produced from the GM tube. So it's not just because of the source here. It's because of the electric field that you have given. So that part of the GM tube we are not interested in. We are only interested in the operating range of the GM counter. So like this, see, these are some readings. For example, at 300 volts they got 0 counts. At 400 volts 500 also around 500. Suddenly at 920 volts or whatever, the counts increase so much. So when you plot a graph of the number of counts with the voltage that you have applied, initially you saw that there were no counts, and then at some value of potential difference here, the counts, these are by the way total counts, no, meaning the counts after subtracting background counts. Okay, the counts due to the source alone. So you see that it is counting proper particles, counting. Beyond a certain voltage, the electric field is ionizing the gas. Okay, so this region is called as avalanche region, which we are not interested in. We are only interested in the operating region. So this voltage in which the Geiger-Müller counter operates is called the operating voltage. In this particular example, it is between 400 volts to 800 volts. So two results you have to find here. One is operating voltage, 400 to 800, and one is threshold voltage. Threshold voltage is that voltage at which the counter starts counting. So in our case, it is 400. At 400, counter starts counting the proper number of particles. Till 800, it operates properly. Beyond that, the count just increases. So the operating range is 400 to 800 volts. Threshold voltage is 400 volts. So you see that in the result, threshold voltage, operating voltage. That's it. Understood? These two things you have to find out. These are the characteristics of GM counter. This is what you are studying. Okay? Very good. Proud of you. See you. I'll upload the video. If you have any doubts, you can message.